At trial, why do we have to tell the jury how much longer you can be expected to live? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney practicing law in the state of New York. When your civil litigation goes to trial, now during the course of damages, when we focus on the compensation and the harms and losses that you suffered, we will need to tell the jury, we will need to tell the judge your life expectancy. And you might be thinking, why does the jury need to know how much longer I can be expected to live? There's a very important reason for that, especially when we're talking about the pain and the suffering that you've endured. Because ultimately the jury will have to determine that if the person you have sued, if the company that you have sued is legally responsible for your injuries. Now, on the issue of damages, there are two components to pain and suffering. The first is known as past pain and suffering. That's the suffering and the pain that you endured from the time of the wrongdoing until the time of trial. That's a finite period. But what about if you have ongoing disabling injuries that are going to affect you for the rest of your life? Well, that's also something the jury has to take into account. And we now look at the standard statistical life expectancy tables to evaluate your current age and the age at which you can be expected to live based upon these statistics. So now in the jury's verdict, they have to indicate how many years that particular verdict applies for your future pain and suffering. So if you have a 30-year life expectancy, and now based upon medical testimony, you can expect to have those disabling injuries for the next 30 years. The law in fact requires that the jury know and the judge knows how much longer you can be expected to live. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on in these civil lawsuits seeking compensation for the harms and injuries you suffered because of someone else's carelessness. You know, I recognize you're watching this video because you have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but you have questions that you need answered, what I encourage you to do is, you know what I'm going to say, right? Pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, there's something I do every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.